what's the word, YouTube? It's your boy Shy The Rula back with another video giving you some free game. I wanted to talk about something really important. I feel like a lot of videos that I've watched haven't touched base on. And I've been trying to be a lot different when it comes to the content that I'm releasing. You know, I feel like there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of guides out there for beginner stuff, for, you know, just basic knowledge when it comes to Tekken. But every series that I've been dropping, especially for Lee mains, and you know, you can take some from it as well, even if you're not a Lee main. But I feel like the video that I want to talk about and create today is going to be covering a very important topic that I feel like can open up your game completely. I get a lot of questions about like opening up your opponent. Some players feel like it's hard to open up their opponent, or they don't know what to do to open up their opponent. So I wanted to help you guys understand the thought process of a pro player when it comes to approaching offense, understanding and adapting to the opponent's defense. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a big thing. Appreciate the follow. A lot of people new to pro level, I get questions all the time about layering the offense, right? Or even understanding the layers of the opponent's offense and defense, etc., right? Because I get a lot of players that are like, you know, they're having trouble opening up their opponent. They're getting clipped by certain things, or they're not understanding the pattern that's being shown to them. And I feel like that's very important when you're playing against somebody that's layering their offense. And even for you, what's good, Mitch? And like even for you when you're trying to approach offense, you got to treat every move like it's a layer, right? So I'll start with a small example. Down 3, right? Down 3, I could go into Hitman, right? I could not go into Hitman. That's one layer. That's literally one layer, right? Because now I could do a follow-up. If they mash, I could while standing 3-3. There's only like one thing that beats that out. You know what I mean? So if the opponent wants to retaliate immediately, now I can interrupt them if they do something that's slower than the while standing 3-3. You know? Now that's one layer. One layer. If the opponent adapts to this, now I could switch it up. I could add something more to the layer. So that's layer 1 shit right here. You know, this is layer 1. They don't get past layer 1, I'm gonna keep doing it until it stops working, right? Layer 2 will be down 3 in the Hitman. I'm -1, so I could step, I could power crush, I could just slide, I could Hitman 4, and you decide which layer you want to add. This is free game right here, bro, because I feel like a lot of people have trouble opening up their opponent, and it's easier than you think. And I feel like people overcomplicate approaching offense in this game, and it's really simple. You just have to use each move and determine what situation is going to happen after, and use it to gather information on your opponent. So down 3, if I'm doing down 3, right, like if I'm playing against somebody in tournament, in a set, whatever, right, I'm gonna do down 3 at first. I might go into Hitman because I'm fishing for the counter here, right? I'm gonna see what you're gonna do first. I'm not even gonna commit to my options. You know what I mean? I could commit to this, I could commit to this, I could, you know, I could do so many things, right? But if my opponent hasn't shown me any information, which is, it could be anything. It could be they're gonna press, they're not doing anything, they're backdashing, they're sidestepping, they're power crushing, they're hop kicking. You know what I mean? Like you have to take that information and do as you will with it, right? So they could switch it up the next time you do it, but you have the information where they're thinking of this, right? They're thinking of pressing a button, they're thinking of retaliating, they're thinking of ducking, they're thinking of hop kicking. You know what I mean? So you want to use those key moves. For me, it's down 3. For me, it's back 4 on block. You know, down 4-4, down 4-4 in the Hitman. Those are all layer 1 things, right? So once, like I said earlier, once you establish the layer 1 and you see that they're not beating the layer 1, you continue doing it. But then when they start to get past the layer 1 stuff, that's when you start to mix it up. That's when you start to go for the slides. That's when you start going for the wild standings, whatever, right? This is key with offense, no matter who you play. It could be Lee, it could be Reina, it could be Azusena, it could be anybody in this game. Shaheen, everybody that's in the chat right now, whatever character you play, look at the key moves, look exactly at what's working, and like, you know, study the situation afterwards. See if the opponent could step, see if the opponent could do certain things afterwards, right? That's your information gathering. Then when you understand the information that's given, now you know how to respond for the follow-up. Because a lot of the times players, they like to telegraph their movements, right? They like to telegraph what they're about to do. They'll either dash up, do something, they'll either do a move and then commit to another button or sidestep or whatever. Like a lot of the times things are telegraphed. They'll like to throw the signal out. The signal is the first move, right? And then they'll do something else. Or sometimes they'll just run up and just do it. You know what I mean? But there's usually a signal from the intermediate level to the higher level, depending on who you're playing against, right? But 90% of the time, there's a signal. You just got to look for it. There's a pattern, there's a signal, there's something that gives it away that is coming, right? Now, when you understand the layers, it helps you understand the pattern, right? So, I give you an example with Fang, right? For me, if I play Fang, usually this new move, right? You're gonna get the elbows. You're gonna get a down 3. At a back turn, he could get the shoulders. I mean the elbows. He could get the down 3. He could get the power crush. You know what I mean? He could get the stomp. But those are the layers of the back turn. You know what I mean? You simplify it by separating it in layers with each move, and it'll help you open up your offense, open up the game plan, adapt to patterns, looking at the opponent's patterns and layers. You know what I mean? You could just, it all starts to tie in together. You start to just see the shit. Like it's clear. You know what I mean? All right, so yeah. So understanding the layers is gonna help you with your game overall, which is applying your offense, like we said, understanding the defense aspect. So defense could be a layer too. All right, so look, this off rip, drag down 2 until while standing 4. This is a layer, right? So defensively, I'm a block, right? That's layer 1. I'm blocking. This is why people say mashing isn't always a bad thing, right? It depends on when you challenge and how you challenge, which makes the difference, right? So usually, if I see that the drag player is committing to this, I while standing 3-3. I can while standing 4, right? My other moves won't beat this out, right? But I know that my while standing 3-3 and my while standing 4 will beat it out. Now, once the drag player notices I'm challenging, they're gonna step off. But that's the layer 1. The layer 1 is, yo, I'm not pressing buttons every time I get hit by down 2. I'm just backdashing, right? But the second layer is, yo, I'm about to just mash a button and go into a mix-up, depending on what I do, right? That's layer 1 on defense. Whether you're gonna challenge or not, what you're gonna challenge with, and how you're gonna respond to the opponent's offense. Now that you're showing the opponent that you're adapting to that layer, one or two things are gonna happen. They're either gonna keep doing this shit and you're just gonna blow them up every time they do it, or they're gonna adjust it and now there's something else that you may be able to do, depending on if they commit right after they don't do anything or they do a different option. The thing I wanted to talk about too, now that we address layers, like I said, make your key moves or just moves in general a layer, bro. Like this shit is so much more simple than people make it if you just break it down in layers, offensively and defensively. Defensively, it could be a single backdash, it could be 2 backdashes, it could be a sidestep, it could be a backdash into a forward move, it could be a backdash into a down forward 1, a jab. Those are all layers. When you break it down like that, it'll help you approach Tekken way better. It's so much easier.
No, I'm sorry. I don't fuck with the gossip. It's under me. She get on top, but I'd rather her under me. Poured up the pineapple, call that bitch bumblebee. Couple of knots without stuffing and thuggeries. Bitch, I'm a G. What you think is a gun to me? Ruler of rapping, they can never front on me like.